Are you struggling to get an offer accepted on a house? A seller's market can be so difficult and stressful for home buyers. That's why I made this video. I'm gonna go ahead and share with you my insider tips and tricks so that hopefully you can get your next offer accepted. Hi everyone, I'm Heather. I'm a real estate agent here in Southern California, and today I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks with you on how to get your offer accepted in a seller's market. And my first tip is going to be to get your offer in as quickly as you can, because once a seller has their home listed, they want to get it sold. And if you're able to submit that offer pretty quickly on, it's more likely that they wouldn't have already accepted another offer or overlook your offer later on. So definitely get your offer in as quickly as you're able to. Okay, so my next tip, and probably the most important, is going to be to know the seller's motivation. So your realtor should be having a conversation with the listing agent, and they should be trying to get some information on the seller. You know, try to figure out what their situation is, what it is that they're looking for, and you know, what it is gonna be to make it so that your offer stands out to them above the others. And just for example, one thing could be, you know, say that they are moving out of state and they're gonna need, you know, if you're scheduled to close escrow on this date, maybe they're not scheduled to close on their new home until a later date, or you know, whatever it might be. Maybe they need a few more days to stay in the house after the property closes escrow. That's something that you can offer them if you do know what their situation is. And that's something that's gonna make it stand out for them and be more convenient for them to want to accept your offer. Okay, now we're talking money. So obviously, you're gonna wanna make your best offer possible. It's a seller's market, so these houses are getting multiple offers on them, and majority of them are coming in above asking price. So you're going to want to make sure that you're making an offer that you're not going to regret offering if a higher offer does get accepted over yours. And on top of that, also make sure to consider your earnest money deposit. You know, a higher EDM could make it so that you really look promising, or you know, really motivated to purchase the house, and that might really stand out to the seller as well. Another trick or another thing that you could try to do is an escalation clause. And what this does is, you don't know what kind of offers are being presented to the seller. So you can write an offer that states that you are offering X amount of dollars over the highest offer, not to exceed X amount. So that means that you could say a house is being sold for $800,000 and you make an offer for $810,000 or $2,000 over the highest offer that they receive on the home, but not to exceed, say then you have to determine what's the highest amount that you feel comfortable with. This example, I'm just gonna say $840,000. So that kind of gives you some wiggle room, and the listing agent's gonna have to show you what that highest offer is if your offer does get accepted for above what the original offer amount was. I hope that makes sense. Another thing that I highly recommend is keep an eye out for off-market listings. So sometimes, you know, there are houses that aren't on the MLS that are for sale. When an owner lists their own property for sale without a realtor, it doesn't get posted to the MLS. So for sale by owners, there's different ways that you can find those listings, and your realtor should be able to help with that. And also, A lot of times, realtors have a lot of connections and have a lot of other real estate agents that they work with or in their brokerage that they can utilize to also try to find off-market listings. For example, I work at eXp Realty, and there's thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of real estate agents in my brokerage that I have easy access to communicate with. And I could post something and say, hey guys, I have a buyer looking for XYZ in this area for around this price range. And someone might say, oh shoot, I literally just was talking to a potential seller about selling a property that matches that description. So there's different kind of ways that you can use people and try to find those properties that haven't been listed yet, that haven't received a bunch of offers already. My last word of advice is make sure you submit your offer nicely, okay? Like, put it all in one document, make sure you got all those juicy signatures and initials where they're needed, and email it to the agent. Make sure you call them beforehand and let them know you're going to be sending it to them so that they're aware and can keep an eye out for it. And when they get it, they're like, oh yeah, I talked to them, like now here's their offer, great. And that makes it just stand out that much more. And when it's nicely put into just one PDF with all of the needed documents, and I even will include a little checklist in my email where I give a short synopsis of what is being offered in my offer or in the buyer's offer, just to give them a short snapshot. It makes it easier for them. It's it's cleaner and more attractive, and it makes it easier for the agent, the seller's agent, to review it and comprehend it and want to be able to get it over to the seller and explain the offer to them more easily. I hope these tips were helpful. I did also create a video on understanding the home buying process and the timeline associated with that, so you can check that out as well. If you are looking to purchase a home in the Los Angeles area and you would like me to help you get your offer accepted, you can go ahead and schedule a call with me, and I did provide a link for that below. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.